How y'all folks doing today? This is James, and welcome to the Bearded Mouse Cast. We are live on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. We have a special guest today or tonight. He is my brother-in-law. He is not bearded, but he is a Disney fanatic and a Disney lover. And go ahead, Dave. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm David.
So, David, just going to ask everybody that ever comes on here. We haven't had a lot of guests. You're the first guest, but I want to ask, what was one magical moment or magic moment that you could remember when you, from your whole history of going to Disney? What's that one magic moment you have?
Oh, geez. I don't know, really. I mean, I have thousands of moments. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint one.
Right. Got you. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there's a lot of magic moments. There's a lot of things that go on in the parks that everybody, has that one. Have a bunch of special things. Like one of mine is when I told this in the first podcast we did that. I asked Bree, my wife, to marry me at Disney, and that was pretty magical. But to one of my magic moments that happened, recently within this year is when we took our youngest, Charlie, to Disney. We took her on the It's a Small World, and just seeing her eyes light up and her jaw hit the floor kind of feeling and looking at everything at It's a Small World was pretty magical. So that was one of the things that were pretty great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have all kinds of moments like that. Like, just finding new things is kind of the biggest thing for me. There used to be a house at Epcot that that you would show all of the most energy efficient things and everything. It was, I called it the Dream House. Me and my girlfriend called it the Dream House, Disney Dream House, but I don't know exactly what it was actually called. But yeah, walking through that, it just felt the magic there, and finding little details. That's the best thing for me.
That was over in the Innovation, right? Or I think that's what it's called.
I think it was Innovation East.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was pretty neat. I don't know what they're doing now. I know they took that whole thing out, and they might be. I know the World of Color is right across from where it used to be.
Yeah. I really hope they don't get rid of it. I hope they're just renovating it. But I know I think they lost their sponsor for that, and that's the reason why they got rid of it.
Right. So a little Disney news. Downtown Disney Town Square was open today. The 15th, May 15th. Disney Square opened today for people to go check it out. We didn't get to go down there and check it out, but maybe soon we will be. Sounds like it's pretty grand.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard too much about it, but yeah, I mean, it should be pretty good. The pictures look amazing.
Oh, I know. I've seen a lot of pictures on Facebook and online about it.
Yeah, it's really the first new part of downtown Disney.
Disney Springs, my friend.
Disney Springs. Sorry, yeah. It's like the actual new part, not just the renovated part. So
what do you think about how they changed the names, like from downtown Disney to Disney Springs, or MGM to Hollywood Studios? I mean, how do you feel as a Disney fan about them changing things? This kind of goes on our topic of the good old days and how things used to be at Disney, or how different attractions or different events they used to have they don't have anymore.
Well, I mean, I know it's necessary as they change direction with things to change the name, but I mean, I don't think it's really that necessary to be changing it all the time, because people become familiar with it as one thing, and they kind of, I mean, it's not changing enough to be worthy of a name change, in my opinion. Like Hollywood Studios changing from MGM, that was obviously because MGM's no longer, they're not partnered together. So that, I mean, I know they had to do it, but it's still classic MGM. I mean, I even heard that they're changing the name of Hollywood Studios again to it's like Disney's Hollywood World or something. I'm not really quite sure what it's called, but it's or Movie World or something. I'm not really sure. They changed it. They're going to change it again, apparently.
It, with all the Star Wars there, it'll probably be Disney Star Wars Spectacular.
I know they're going crazy with that. It's just nuts. Like, I don't know. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I mean, I have posters and stuff of it on my wall, whatever. But I feel, in fact, I'm even wearing a shirt with a Wookiee on it. Um, but I don't know. They're kind of like they're beating it to death. It's kind of, I think they're overdoing it, and it's not really the Disney feel that I want when I go there. And I don't know, MGM's really a lot different than how when I grew up, or even before when I grew up. And I don't know, it's kind of upsetting to me.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's one thing, that's one thing I thought this would be a good show to really put out there, was that, a lot of things have changed. There's a lot of cool things that was at Magic Kingdom that is not there anymore. There was a lot of cool things at Epcot back in the day that is not there anymore. I mean, so let's just say with Epcot, like one thing that, I feel like people probably will hate me over this, but I mean, one thing I really liked when we went there was, I probably will mispronounce this, but the Maelstrom ride.
Oh yeah, Maelstrom or
Maelstrom, something Storm, whatever. The one in Norway, and how Norway was. Now it's getting changed. Norway's turning into the Arendelle and the whole Frozen theme. And I think that's really cool. I just think that's the wrong place for it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's kind of messed up. It's not. It's not even. That film wasn't even based in Norway, so it's not something that belongs there. And also, Maelstrom was like, it was a staple at Epcot. It was a big deal, and everyone liked it. And there's always a line down out the door, and it had a special feeling to it. That special Disney feeling, even though it was kind of out there, it was special.
Right, and it was kind of a hidden jewel. Like
Exactly.
a lot of, I mean, how many times do you think people go to Epcot and didn't even know it was there? And then when they did find out it was there, they were like, like us, we after a little bit, I didn't know it was there, and then we saw it and went and did it, and then it was like something we had to do every time we came.
Yeah, it's something you kind of had to be shown, but like it was something special to the people who are there all the time, the people who are veterans, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I think the same way. I mean, if they're going to do something new with something, then you have a lot of stuff at Epcot that you can do some new stuff with. I mean, Travel to Imagination with Figment, that could have been updated or something.
It is actually in its like second generation kind of, because it used to be, it used to actually have a different location in Epcot, and they kind of dumbed it down, and it's not what it used to be at all. Pretty much anything at Epcot's kind of like that.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like they took a lot of it away, and some people like the original concept with the Dream. I'm trying to think of the guy's name now. When they had the guy on the bicycle bringing you through.
Oh yeah, it was
Dreamcatcher.
Horizons. No,
Horizons was a different kind of ride, I think.
Right. No, was that one? That was Journey to Imagination, I believe.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that was what that was. The guy on the bike.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. And I'm starting to think I misspoke. The one that had a different location that I was thinking of was the it's right underneath it. The ImageWorks. ImageWorks was the one that's right after Journey to Imagination now. It actually was up in the glass pyramid above the ride, and if you actually walk into the little store after Journey into Imagination, if you look up, you can still see like there's banners and stuff still hanging in there from those days.
Yeah, it's just wasted space. I feel they should still have it running.
A lot of it's wasted space there, and like in fact, Germany. The pavilion at Germany was supposed to have a ride, but if you go up to where the buffet place is, there's actually a wall kind of right behind the line into the buffet there that has a big mural on it. If you walk up to and knock on it, it's hollow. They were going to have a ride there very similar to the Three Caballeros ride at Mexico, and I think it was kind of like in between that and Maelstrom.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool, and but to go on to like Magic Kingdom, there's a lot of changes since the beginning of Magic Kingdom.
Oh
A
yes.
lot. Now, your opinion, do you think Walt Disney himself would approve of today's Magic Kingdom to what his idea of what it would have been?
No, I don't think so. I think he would have taken it in a different direction because a lot of the magic has been lost. A lot of it has been turned into just a way of making profit. I feel like it's just kind of uh, get in, get out, have your experience. And I mean, there is a lot of stuff that I really appreciate them keeping and renovating and stuff, but I feel like it's kind of lost its luster from like when I was a kid. I remember feeling like that Disney feeling walking around like in Toontown, and there's just no feeling like it. And they kind of did away with it being as modern as they are. I wish they would bring that back. Kind of just the feeling of being a kid. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain that Disney feeling in your gut, you know?
Yeah, and one thing that I experienced when I was a kid, it was, some stuff I could remember of it, some stuff I couldn't remember of it. So I kind of looked into it. Was a ride called the Timekeeper, and this ride was basically where the laugh floor is in Tomorrowland.
Oh, is that
And
where that was?
yeah, that's where it was. I haven't been in there since it was the laugh floor, so I don't know what it looks like in there now. But basically, you walked into a room and it was a standing. There was no seats. You stood up, and there was kind of like a little area to the corner, and it had a robot on it, and he was doing some controls. And the robot kind of looks like Robin Williams. The voice was Robin Williams, and he basically took you back in time, and it was kind of like the way I remember it, and compare it to something today, it was almost like soaring, but you're standing in a room and you're not moving around. There was a little robot named Nine Eye, and it was a she. Well, it had a female's voice, and they show it, and it had 9 cameras in a circle all the way around it. And what they did was they took Nine Eye and sent that robot back in the past. And what they did was you could look around and see everything that it could see, and it went to where the dinosaurs were. Then it was at the French Revolution, and then finally it brought someone back to the present, and you had to get that guy back to where he was, and it was kind of interesting and funny, and entertaining. And I don't know how the laugh floor is now, but I know that that's something that could have still been there. I mean, I think people would have still liked it.
The laugh floor could pretty much go anywhere. It's like a big screen and like, I mean, there's a couple little props. It's just basically benches with a big screen though, and like they kind of do a little not what is I don't know, CGI. They basically kind of dub voices over monsters and make jokes at the crowd, but that could have gone anywhere. Like it did not have to go right there. That sounds like an awesome ride. Just cut out like
if you get a chance, you should look it up on YouTube. It was called Timekeeper, and it was it was right in the 90s, 1995. It was fired up. And, something else I kind of miss. I mean, me and you talked about this weekend when we were hanging out was, the push trash can that was remote controlled, and it moved around and it taught the guest, and it was kind of like a little the Dapper kind of, it wasn't like the Dappers, but it was kind of that little show, like a little entertaining show in the middle of the park that nobody. It was spot in 80. It was kind of like you never knew it when it was going to happen, and that was kind of entertaining.
I mean, they kind of have that now. They have talking trash cans, but it's kind of like if you go into the Electric Umbrella, there's one when you first walk in from the kind of if you're coming from the entrance, that first door in there. If you use it, you'll see it's plugged in. It's not that noticeable, but if you press it, it has like 20 different phrases. It's more just kind of like phrases. It's not talking to you, and they kind of did away with they had a water fountain that used to talk to you. I didn't get to see it. We tried to find it, but I guess they actually did away with it. And I guess they have 3 more trash cans that talk to you, but When we were looking for them, it was actually closing, so I can't verify that. But
Right.
yeah, I wish I could have seen Push. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, there's always, I mean, little things like that. I mean, I guess to the consumers that are not there more than twice a year, I think maybe we are kind of have a little different mindset because we go so much. We're trying to find new things that thrill us, or try to find these hidden things, and that's the way you're going back to,
Oh, yeah.
trying to find hidden things at Disney, and trying to find the talking trash cans is a great little thing, or looking for Mickey heads or hidden Mickeys and stuff like that. But it's just like these little things that, like, especially things that are spontaneous, like that is, you're like, well, is it going to happen today? I remember seeing online that they were showing that Flynn Rider from the Tangled movie was running through the park, like running through the park. He wouldn't stop for autographs or pictures, but
Really,
he was like, yeah, have you seen Rapunzel? Like, I'm trying to find her. Like, so that was very spontaneity, and I thought that was awesome. I wish I could experience that. That sounds like a good magic moment.
yeah. It's cool that they add that stuff in still. I mean, that kind of stuff is Disney feeling stuff. I gotta say, like I said before, I mean, they didn't get rid of everything, but I mean, they got rid of a lot of it. But that's cool that they have stuff like that. I mean, they can kind of get rid of things that are more permanent though. If you go to Epcot, I guess they used to have like buttons, where if you click it, it was like a real hidden button. Not very many people knew about it at all. You click a button and it squirts people with water, and no one knew where it came from, and they got rid of that kind of stuff, and I think that's kind of lame.
Yeah, I think they should, have more of that stuff, more of that kind of, like, more down home. I don't know. Maybe it's a wrong description, but I think they should have more stuff that are hidden that you could find, maybe like word of mouth, like through social media. Or
there's actually cool. At Magic Kingdom, there's something really cool that I personally have only seen one time out of the probably 100 times that I've been to Disney. It's the Sword in the Stone. Everyone knows the Sword in the Stone statue out there that the kids act like they're pulling it up and everything, but that thing is actually a real sword that somehow they control it from somewhere. They put on a whole show, and like a kid will pull it out of the stone. That's a real sword, not just a fake prop.
Yeah. I seen pictures or maybe video on social media or YouTube about. I seen some kid pull it out, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think it might be some kind of magnet lock or something that locks it down.
Yeah,
but that would be cool. I mean, how cool would that be? You just showed up there was no show, trying to take a photo, you pulled on it, and it actually came out. Like
it was so cool. Just like, I mean, man, I've only seen it one time. Is amazing. Man, I don't know. You can't even time it. I don't think they have show times for it or anything.
No. And one thing too that I've noticed, and I noticed it, when we went there, Gaston. Gaston's a character right there. He's if you're looking for him, he's over by his tavern as you walk into Fantasyland.
Fantasyland.
Yeah. So as you walk in there, he's right there in his little corner over there, and that guy is very random. Like, he will do some crazy thing. Like, if you ask him to arm wrestle you, he will arm wrestle you, and you better be strong, because he's in it for the win. He's in it to win it. I seen a military guy challenge him to a push-up contest, and Gaston was doing one arm push-ups right there on the ground.
No way.
Yeah. Then we saw a video. I seen a video on Facebook of this little girl dressed up like Belle, and the little girl asked Gaston to marry him, and or marry her, and they did their photo, and then they left. Well, Gaston went into the tavern where her family was there enjoying a snack, and found her, and like gave her a rose, and then walked her through the whole park, telling people, Belle has finally said yes. This is the happiest day ever, and it was pretty cool. And that kind of stuff, like when you see videos of Disneyland over in California, you see characters do this kind of stuff on a regular basis, because I don't think their crowds are as busy as Disney World's Magic Kingdom at Disney World. I feel like they're not as busy. I don't know. I've never been there, but that's kind of what I hear.
what I've heard is that Disney World is kind of quantity and Disneyland is quality. It's kind of I mean we have everything, but they have the little details, the very they really go for it all full force, every little thing.
Yeah, well, they were saying that some kind of statistic was saying that Disneyland is more locals than it is tourism, and then
Really?
Disney World is, or yeah, Disneyland is more local people coming and less tourism, and Disney World is all tourism and less locals.
That
And
makes sense. That makes
it,
sense
it
because
makes total
everyone wants the most for their buck. Their big
yeah,
most bang for their buck.
yeah. Well, one day I hope we can, all get together and go to Disneyland. That would be a great trip to
Oh
California.
yeah, we got plans in the works for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I know. Uh, another thing that I'm kind of sad that's gone from Magic Kingdom is the sky. I just had it on my head.
Skyway buckets or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. The gondola. That's what it is.
Mhm.
But the gondola that went across Fantasyland from Tomorrowland, that was pretty neat when I was a kid. I remember riding on that, and I guess they just had a lot of safety concerns, and then probably with the new handicap or handicap laws and stuff like that, it probably was hard to keep that functional on a regular basis. Um,
Yeah.
but but that was something that was kind of cool. Get a real bird's eye view of the whole place.
Yeah,
Um,
I wish I could have experienced that. I never got to, but it sounds so cool, and I've always wished I could have done that.
yeah, like little things like that. There's another thing that could have been, but I could see from a business that it would probably been a big headache to get over the whole wheelchair access, getting wheelchairs on and off. 'Cause that thing doesn't stop. Like it comes in and keeps rolling. Like it.
Right, right.
So I could see how that could have been hard to do. And let's see. There's some other things that are kind of like with the whole Hollywood studio refurb. Like little things that were there. I know that people were saying, "Oh, well, they destroyed Main Street, New York, and San Francisco, and they destroyed it." Oh, wait, we really didn't miss it, but I do miss it. I miss the little store, looking at the little stores, walking through there.
I love that from day one. Like as a kid, I like that. So I can't believe that's gone. That used
Right.
to be a fully functioning set when MGM was made. When it was actually all of that was actually used to film things, and they totally I don't know, they kind of took away from what MGM's actual purpose was to show you a living set, a living film set, and they lost a lot of that when they started doing this new refurb, like that whole the lights, motors, action that used to be part of the backlot tour, and the backlot tour itself was like that was the holy grail of MGM. It's like it's purpose, and they kind of took it away, and that sucks.
Yeah, and that airplane that is on the backlot tour, that was Walt's real plane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That was that's legit. And well, I mean, what are they going to do with it? I mean, I hope they don't destroy it. I hope they put it up somewhere for
I know. I
everybody
hope
to
it's not
see.
left to rot. Like so many things. Like so many things have been left to rot. It's just, I don't
Well, I
know.
know. Look at the whole water park that got left to rot. I mean, I don't want
Yeah.
I don't want to make this show about us ranting and raving about the bad side of Walt Disney World or anything like that. But there's a lot of things that and we don't know the whole business side of things. There might have been a lot of laws or stuff that would have made it really hard to operate this stuff, and it's just easier
Right.
to shut the doors on things, and that's just how today's times are. Businesses have to shut doors on things instead of trying to run them because of laws and different things going on. But it probably was better for the environment. I think that was one of the reasons why they shut down.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean, it kind of goes back to the thing with how Walt was. I don't know. Walt wasn't so much business. I mean, he was, but he also had that thing about him where it was kind of more about the experience than it was making a profit. He wanted everyone to feel like it was something you can only experience here and get that feeling here. And it, I don't know, they kind of don't do that the same as they used to.
Right. Yeah. So there's a another podcast I listen to on my Apple phone, but it's called the Diz Unplugged, and they have a series on that podcast called Connecting with Walt, and it kind of like goes from the beginning stages of when Walt Disney himself was trying to find a place to do a Disney World. You know, like even
Yeah.
in the planning of the name, because it was going to be like maybe Disneyland East or the Disney Project or something over
Yeah.
here. And they had a lot of, you know, in this thing they talk about how they had a lot of different towns they were going to go to, from New York or New Jersey, St. Louis, you know, and they finally ended up getting to do it in Florida. But in that, only reason I brought that up was because in that you talk about how Walt he wasn't really, he was business, but he wasn't business mindset kind of when it comes to dreaming about things.
Hmm.
In that podcast, they talked about how Walt was in a meeting and they were talking about plans on what they were going to do with the Magic Kingdom. And in that meeting had a bunch of different, I don't know if they were called Imagineers back then, but there were a bunch of different designers and guys like that. And he was talking about, oh, we're going to do this and going to do this, and it's going to cost, I don't remember the exact number. Let's just say $8 million to do something back in that day. And a guy in the meeting was talking about, he said, oh, well, that just ain't going to fly, because he was with the financial department. You know, he was a financial guy. And Walt said, what
Yeah.
are you doing here? This room is for dreamers, not financialists. Get out of here. You know, so he
Yeah.
kind of like, there was no money that would hold him back to make something, you know, nice for people. And, you know, and that was the whole idea behind Disneyland and Disney World, was he wanted to make a theme park that was good for families that can go somewhere together. Parents can be with their kids. You
Hmm.
know, it's just not for the kids. You know, the parents can
Yeah.
get there and have a good time too. And I feel like that is one thing that they really are doing good there, is, you know, having these different parties or having these different things for adults.
Yep.
And I like the villain party they did during Halloween. You know, that was awesome. I mean, they had
Yeah.
a DJ playing rock music all night long, and as
Uh-huh.
adults, you know, you can have a good time at Disney and spend a lot of money, but still have a good time. You know,
Yeah.
and but like I said, I mean, we want to talk about some stuff that what used to be there, not there anymore, and things that we still love. Do you have anything else to add, David?
Um. Well, maybe not for this one. I got a lot of stuff I could talk about for sure.
Yeah. We got to have you on here again and do some more of these. I try to. My plan was to do these twice a month, and then I did two of them back to back, and then I skipped 2 weeks, and now I'm back again. So hopefully we can stay on board with these, you know, and try to get them out, because I know people enjoy them. We're not going to be that old podcast that, you know, that gives you nothing but news and statistics and all that stuff. We try to give you a little bit of updates, but man, we're just talking about how we feel. We're just a bunch of men. Hopefully, you know, one day we can have, you know, my wife or your girlfriend or my buddy Jace's wife or some other people that, you know, it doesn't have to be guys on here. And we talk about different point of views of Disney, you know, because like I was telling Jason the first episode, and I'll tell you right now, David, that my view at Disney and the way I approach Disney is different than him being a married man with no kids, and different than you being a guy with a girlfriend and y'all have no kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind
Yeah.
of like we all have different point of views, and it's happy to, you know, put it together, and other people around the world can relate to all of us. You know, I mean, and that's something that I really want to do, and get this out there that
Mhm.
way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So until next time, I want to tell everybody to check us out on Facebook, The Bearded Mousecast. This podcast will be on YouTube at The Bearded Mousecast. And like and share, and let all your friends know about what we're doing. And we'll see you next time.
All right. See
Y'all
you.
bye. Have a great night.